listen to Christian rap. It'll help you stop listening to secular music. Y'all, this girl on this song said, was cold-hearted little frosty, like working at Wendy's. Spirit hit me and just saw me as in me. Now I'm new, a different world, like that show from the 80s and 90s. The secret place make it harder to find me. Ain't hiding, I'm hidden. Serve the one who keep the world spinning. Loving his word like I'm swimming. Joel the prophet, he predicted this before the sensing. Yeah, make me want. And y'all be like, listen to Christian rap. It'll help you stop listening to secular music. Y'all, this girl on this song said, was cold-hearted little frosty, like working at Wendy's. Spirit hit me and just saw me as him. Now I'm new, a different world, like that show from the 80s and 90s. The secret place make it harder to find me. Ain't hiding, I'm hidden. Serve the one who keep the world spinning. Loving his word like I'm swimming. Joel the prophet, he predicted this before the sensing. Yeah, it make me want. And y'all be like, listen to Christian rap. It'll help you.
Hey everybody. Woo! Real life situation. Hey. Yo. I miss y'all so much. God is good. God is good all the time. All the time. God is good. Well, it's Stephanie here. My goal is to inspire, motivate, and encourage anybody that's been through anything, through my experiences, letting them know that they can get through it. They can overcome it. This too shall pass. And even if I just reach one, I was out like trying to get almost situated, but not quite situated. So it's just so much, y'all, going on in the world. So much going on. So let me start off by saying this. Rest in peace, Whitney Houston. We love you. We gonna be on the prayer list. Real life situation on the prayer list. We got Brandy on the prayer list. We got Ray J on the prayer list. We got Indy Irie on the prayer list. Kelly Price. You know, we got. They did Indy Irie so wrong. I mean, Brandy so wrong. Talking about she look like Cicely Tyson. Now y'all know y'all wrong for that. You know what? Just pray for people. We don't know what she going through, Brandy. We love you. We don't know what you're going through, girl, but we praying for you. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna say this. Real life situation. I am gonna say this, y'all. It's like Silly on The Color Purple, cause y'all know she gave her that note when Whitney died or was murdered, allegedly murdered, whatever. Until you do right by me. Y'all better do people right, especially a child of God. Man, real life situation, y'all gotta do people right. Especially a child of God. Man. And they say Whitney Houston stayed in her Bible, honey. She was always in her Bible. So, anyway, we also want to pray for Carmelo Anthony family. We want to also pray for Nolan Wells family. Prayerfully they solve this case and we'll get the truth. Oh yeah, speaking of Whitney, you know Oprah need to keep her mouth off Whitney. Cause she done fell on the stage too. Ooh, Lord, y'all. Let me get my flashcards. But her behind her fell on that stage too, man. They need to cut that mess out. I gotta go upstairs. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I meant to put the music on, but anyway. So prayers also, real life situation. We also praying for the little Harris girl from Aiken, South Carolina that was found. Her body was found. There's just so much going on. Real life situation. You know. It's just, you know. But God is good. I just wanted to touch on that. I don't really want to get too much into what's going on. There's just so much going on. So many opinions, so many conspiracy theories, so many stories changing. So I don't really like to want to get too much into that stuff. But I just, you know, we just definitely want to pray for our family, our culture. We got to do better. We got to do better with our kids. We got to prepare our kids for the world and what's really going on out here. Because a lot of our kids just feel like, oh, la 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 la, like the Smurfs. La 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 la. No, we got to prepare our kids and our culture. They got to be prepared. They need to know who's who. Because people do wear masks. Real life situation, they need to know who's who. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot going on. We got to get it together. Can we get it together? Get it together. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to be before you too long. It's been a minute since I've been in the seat. I'm glad to be in the seat. I thank God he's doing so many great things in my life. Thank you for all my supporters. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for all the gifts, the donations. They're always appreciated. Again, I still do get my flowers every week. Thank you for my flowers. Got a lot of things, different things that we are working on. It's just been a time. It's just been so much going on in my life. So much going on in the world. God has blessed me tremendously. And I thank you all for the part that you play in all my blessings. And with no further ado, real life situation, today we're going to be talking about the pit. Pit. Okay. Now again, I need to find somewhere to put this at so y'all can see it in the back of me. I'm going to see if I can get it like on the bottom down there. Steph Rain $. This is my cash app. Real life situation. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It's a little tight over here. I could use a little bit of help. It's been tight over here. It's a piece of hair right there. It's been real tight, y'all. So again, Steph Rain $. I don't usually ask y'all for nothing, but it's been real tight lately. So a little help would be appreciated so I can continue to spread this good news. So let's talk about pit. Let's talk about pit. Okay. A pit is a hole, shaft, or cavity in the ground, a gravel pit. A sizable hole underlining in the ground. A soil pit is made in the earth's surface, which exposes the various layers of soil. Layers of soil or horizons present. They are usually no more than 4 to 5 feet deep. Their length with the general shape vary widely. Or when we talk about a pit, when we talk about a pit, it could also be referred to like a ditch, hollow, a hole, a trench, a dent, a cavity, or a depression. Like those are like other words for a pit. Now when we talk about pit in the Bible, it's a metaphor for separation or abandonment. The Psalms frequently speak about going down to the pit, a place from which is hope God will grant release. The pit, like the pit of hell. You hear the people say the pit of hell, refer to the pit of hell. So we're talking about pit today, y'all. Real life situation. Just my camera. It's raining out there. A pit. Okay. So when we talk about a pit, it's an extremely unpleasant, boring, or depressing place, condition, or person. The absolute worst, a pit. You know, so say, you know, have you ever heard somebody say, I'm down in the slumps? The pit represents hell, a place of punishment and despair. Now, real life situation, y'all, please like, share, and subscribe. And again, my Cash App is $Steph Rain. I'm really excited about this message. It's amazing. Just stay with me. Just stay with me. Hang in there. Try to keep you focused. So, shout out to Seven Brew for my shirt. Rise and grind. That's what we do every day. Rise and grind. Shout out to Seven Brew. They just recently opened up in the plaza. And gave out some shirts. So I like my Seven Brew shirt. Their coffee is shout out to them. I always get a blondie. That's my drink. With the whipped cream and just a little squirt of caramel in there. It's ice. It is so good. So anyway, back to the subject. We're talking about pit. Now when we think about a pit, right? When I think about a pit, I think about Joseph. And you know, everybody know the story about Joseph. Joseph's brothers hated him. Joseph was in the Bible. His brothers hated him because of his relationship with his father and his gifting. He was gifted. So, and you know, Jesus was hated because of his relationship with his father, our Father. You know, in heaven, and because of his power and authority, knowledge, and miracles that he did, he was gifted as well. So Joseph was thrown into a pit, and Jesus was thrown into the pit the night that he was betrayed. Y'all do y'all research. Go look that up. Go look that up. Again, we talking about pit. Real life situation, y'all. Now, it started when Joseph was 17, when he brought a bad report, well, in sight of his brothers and to his fathers. Now, you can look this up yourself. It's in Genesis 37:2. Jacob loved Joseph more than his other sons. And he even made Joseph a coat of many colors. I think in the Bible they called it a tunic. It was to show his love for his son. Now, a lot of people probably don't know why Joseph loved his, excuse me. A lot of people probably don't know why Jacob loved Joseph more than the other sons. Do y'all know why Jacob loved his son more than Joseph, more than his other sons? Anybody know that? I was doing some research, and it was something I looked over. We been in the church all my life, been reading the Bible, and you know, that's why people say, oh, I know the Bible, I'm a scholar, I'm Dr. such and such. Well, you go back and you read that Bible, you get new revelations. You know, see things that you never seen before. New revelations. It's like life. But the reason why, do y'all hear that rain out there? It's coming down. The reason why Jacob loved Joseph more than his other sons because Joseph was the son of Jacob's old age. I bet y'all didn't know that. Let that sit in for a minute. So on top of that, Joseph had a dream. Basically, he had a dream that his entire family would bow down to him. Now, you can do your own research. Genesis 37:3, Genesis 37:5. Look it up for yourself. Excuse me. Joseph's brothers responded poorly to the things, and they hated Joseph. You can imagine they was already mad. They're like, teacher's pet, daddy loves him more, made him a coat of many colors. You know how y'all be. Some families have favoritism, show favoritism to certain siblings and certain family members, regardless of what the reasoning is. So they hated Joseph greatly. Now, you can do your research on this as well. Look, go to Genesis 37:4-5. Look it up. And they were just jealous. They were just jealous of him. Genesis 37:11 tell you all about how the brothers they hated him. Again, today we talking about Pitt. $sign Steph Rain. So they hated him. They were jealous of him. You know how people be jealous? People be jealous of the smallest little things. They jealous because you got on red lipstick. They jealous because you got your nails done. Just for no reason. It's really a spirit. It's actually a spirit. Now Joseph's brothers plotted one day to throw him in a pit and tell their father that a wild beast had killed him in the pit. They figured he would die. Now this happened at Joseph. He was only 17. The boy 17. 17. My son 19. The boy 17. They done threw him, his own family, his own siblings, his own brothers, and threw him in the pit. And the brothers hated him because the father favored him. Now they came up with this elaborate plan in Genesis 37:20. They said, "Come now, therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into some pit. And we will say some evil beast have devoured him. And we shall see what becomes of his dreams." Let that sit in, y'all. Let that sit in. They said they're gonna devour him, throw him in the pit, and see what becomes of his dreams. So they done scheme and they done made up a whole plan. Because they was already jealous. Now he gonna wake up talking about, "Oh, y'all gonna bow down before me. Y'all gonna bow down." That's why you gotta watch who you tell your dreams. You got to watch who you share your dreams with, because people will try and sabotage you. They said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna see what become of his dreams." You know, jealousy and envy, man. People get trifling out there. Real life situations. Sometimes you got to study to be quiet. A wise man told me. So upon arriving in Egypt, those that had brought Joseph sold him to Pharaoh's captain. Now you can look that up. That's Genesis 37 and 36. God blessed Joseph, and Joseph grew in influence and prominence. So even though the brothers threw him in the pit, came up with a plan, threw him in the pit, told his father he was dead because they were so jealous of him and the dream that he had. They trying to destroy the dream. You think we finna bow? Who gonna bow down to you? Boy, stop. We finna throw you in this pit. We gonna tell daddy you dead. That's over with. We finna throw you in the pit. We so tired of daddy favoring you. He gonna make you a coat. He ain't make us no coat. Boy, you got to go. So in spite of Joseph still grew of influence. So Potiphar put Joseph over his whole house in Genesis 39:8. So Potiphar wife tried to seduce Joseph, or Jezebel. See, so Joseph was like, "I'm finna get up out of here." So he fled to avoid the situation. Sometimes you got to get the hell up out of there. When you see danger and your intuition telling you to leave somewhere and to go, sometimes you just got to get the hell on. So that's why I like to ride by myself. Because when it's time to go, it's time to go. Like they said on Color Purple, time to go. Down there in the Jew joint, they got the fighting down there, man. Silly ain't want to leave. Shug was like, "Silly, come on." Shug was like, sometimes people be nosy. They don't want to go. They try to see what's going on, mess around and catch a bullet. When it's time to go, you got to know when it's time to go. Joseph got up out of there. He said, "Oh, Lord, this woman trying to hit on me. Jezebel." So that goes to show you his character right there. He was a man of integrity. So he fled, he left to avoid that situation. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes you gotta go. Real life situations, you gotta know when to go. You gotta know when it's time to go. So the wife, she lied to Potiphar, accusing Joseph of trying to take her by force. Now, this is in Genesis 39:17-18. This is really, really good, y'all. I love this story. So, okay, she accused him of rape. Excuse me, S.A. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube or not. S.A. And Of course, you know the husband believed her, so they threw Joseph in jail. So now he done went from the pit to running Potiphar's house over all of his stuff. Now they done locked him up because he done got lied on. Now, you know they will lie on you. People will lie. Real life situation. She just straight up lied on him. Instead of her being accountable and telling the truth, she want to be a whole Jezebel out here. This man in the house. It was a spirit. It was already in you. Temptation. He got up out of there and she lied on him. Well, we see that a lot. That's not something that's common. Ain't nothing new under the sun. The same thing that happened in Tulsa with that little African American, that little black boy in that elevator with that white lady. She straight up, I don't know if it's true or not, but allegedly they was already in a relationship. You know, that was forbidden back then, so she lied on him. Next thing you know, all lie, everything. Black Walls Tulsa just bombed out because of her lies. Just one lie. One lie can affect everybody's life. Let that set in for a minute. So Joseph was thrown into prison, but then even there, even when they threw him in the pit, Joseph still prospered. Now Joseph was thrown into prison, and Joseph still prospered. Because God gave him the gift, this gift of interpretations. So now he up in jail. Get my crackers, y'all. Now he up in jail. He up in jail. Falsely accused, he done been lied on. Now he up in jail, right? He up in jail, right? But guess what? God still was with him. Because guess what? He had gifts. So he had a gift of interpretation of dreams. Remember, he had that dream. So, excuse me, y'all. He had the gift of dreaming. He had the gift of dreaming. Okay. So, he in jail. He had the gift of interpretation. He interpreting dreams in jail. So, Pharaoh had a troubling dream. So, Pharaoh cupbearer remembered Joseph because he interpreted a dream for Joseph. Joseph interpreted a dream for him when they was in jail together. So, he asked Joseph, well, what do I owe you? He said, no, just remember me. So that's what I always do. I bless somebody and help someone. Sometimes they say, what I owe you? I be like, nothing, just remember me. You got to remember the people that bless you. Real life situation. They be talking about pit, y'all. They be talking about pit. So I gotta keep it with the time because I got somewhere to be. I got a little bit more time. I want to try to finish this. So they remember that Joseph had interpreted it. So the cupbearer basically told Pharaoh that he knew somebody that could interpret his dream. And so when Joseph interpreted Pharaoh's dream, the interpretation that it was a famine coming. Okay, so Joseph got promoted because of his gifts. The Bible says your gifts will make room for you. So Pharaoh put Joseph over his house. Now this is all in Genesis 41, chapter 38 through 41, if y'all want to look this up. So okay, so he went from the pit to jail to the palace. Now he was there the 7 years that followed. He was there for 7 years. He led everybody and made the preparations for the famine. And when the family finally arrived, Egypt was prepared. This is Genesis 41 and 46. And people from all over the world traveled to Egypt to buy grain because the famine was coming. Like how the pandemic came. Okay. Now this is Genesis 41, 56 to 57. Now I know it's a good story. You got to go do your own research. I got somewhere to be, so Joseph's brothers were sent from the land of Canaan to Egypt to buy food. And when they encountered Joseph, they did not recognize him, but Joseph recognized them. Wow, isn't that something? Let me read that to you again. I want you to get this. It said Joseph's brothers were sent from the land of Canaan to Egypt to buy food. And when they encountered Joseph, they didn't even recognize him. But Joseph recognized them. Don't you know? Real life situation, y'all. I'm excited. I'm excited, boy. We talking about Pitt, y'all. We talking about Pitt. Steph Rain. $ Steph Rain. Y'all, I need some help. Help a sister out. Real life situation. Appreciate y'all. Please like, share, subscribe. They didn't even recognize Joseph. Don't you know when God bless you in your life and he opened up doors for you and he do stuff for you, you will become unrecognizable? I know when I go places sometimes, they be like, sometimes like people might stare. They might stare, like, stare at me or whatever. So I'm like, you know, I'm kind of like, they just looking. They don't even recognize you. When you walking in your gifts and you doing what God called you to do, sometimes you got that light on, you become unrecognizable. But anyway, after some elaborate planning, excuse me, the devil don't want me to get this out. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. So when God lift you up, you become unrecognizable. Skin get clear, get your edges back. Drinking water, working out, your roots growing. You know, So basically in Genesis 45, 1 through 5, Joseph revealed himself to them. And his brothers was terrified. See, when people know they done you wrong, that's why they can't look in your eyes. When you around there looking all down and everything, looking all around, you know, they know what they did. That's why a lot of times when I block people and I cut them off, they already know what they did. I ain't got to give you no explanation. They're like, oh, that's ghosting. I ain't got to give you no explanation. You already know what you did. That's why they were scared, because they already knew what they did. So Joseph was alive, and he had the power to kill them for what they had done to him. But Joseph understood and explained. Sometimes you got to play dead, baby. Sometimes you got to play possum, let them think that you dead. Oh, that's the solid rock. I'll make you think I'm dead. I deactivate that Facebook page. What's she going through? She must be going through something. No, I'll let them think what they want to think. And they'll think I done drowned. They'll think I'm cooked. They'll think I'm green. Sometimes you gotta take that break from social media. Real life situation. Steph Rain $. So God had sent him to Egypt so that he could preserve their lives, not seek judgment against them. Joseph referred to his brothers. Now that's in Genesis 45, 5 through 7. Even years later, after Jacob had died, the brothers still had some fear of Joseph. They were scared. They were scared, like, oh, when God, let me tell you something. When God before you, who can be against you? He didn't retaliate to them. He didn't retaliate to them or nothing like that. He didn't do none of that. But he did let them know that what they had intended for evil, God used it for good. So that many lives could be preserved. He was needed. He was necessary. That's why they couldn't take him out. Because he was necessary. Because I know they sure been trying to take me out. Like I said, y'all go back to, this is a test and work your way up. You see my testimony. I'm still here. And go read Genesis chapter 50 and 20. And it tell you what the devil meant for your good, your bad, God will turn around for your good. Because people hate you for your dream. They hate you for sharing your dream. They hate you for chasing the dream. They hate you for achieving the dream. They hate you for living the dream. But so what? If God be for you, real life situation, soul tribe, if God be for you, who can be against you? So Joseph's story shows us that God is still working even when we can't see him. To be like Joseph, we got to rise above and be a leader and use our gifting. Remain true and faithful. God's blessing was in Joseph the entire time. Ain't that so? God's blessing was in Joseph all the entire time. Let that sit in for a minute. We must never give up or quit. All that forgiveness stuff, forgive me, forgive us. So, let me tell you something. I want you to get all your karma if you done me wrong. I'm gonna give it to God. I'm gonna let God deal with you. I want you to get all your karma though. Off with your head. Off with their head, Lord. Vindicate me. So, because a lot of times they say, oh, Father, forgive them for they know not what they doing. No, sometimes them Negroes know what they doing. They know what they doing. So today I say so, tribe. Again, the Steph Dollar Sign. Rain, if this touched your life in any way and you could use this, because it was so good. And I had this for a while already, but it's like I said, there's just been so much going on. But so, tribe, I want you to ask yourself, what is your pit? What is your pit? Is it childhood trauma? Bad relationship? Overwhelming bills? Sadness, depression, anger, death, or loss? Let me tell you something. I was given away at 8 months old. Abused mentally, physically, and emotionally. I had a narcissistic parent. I was in narcissistic relationships. I felt like the black sheep, just like Joseph. My grandmother raised me. She did all she could. She was very nurturing. And I thank God for her. I never got that I love you that much. Real life situation. But I broke that generational curse. Because I tell my son I love him all the time. Sometimes he be like, Ma, come on now. Ma, come on, Ma. I make sure my son know I love him. Through expression, verbally, mentally, emotionally. I tell him all the time, tell your kids you love them. And you know that God gonna keep his word no matter how it seems impossible. Joseph had something to fulfill. He had to interpret that dream. That's why they couldn't kill him. Because he had to get that message to Pharaoh, let him know that famine was coming. They couldn't take him out. God kept his word. He said, y'all gonna bow down to me. Because everybody want to be, we got too many chiefs and ain't got no Indians. Everybody want to be the chief. So to accomplish the plan that God had for him, what the brothers meant for his evil, God turned it around for his good. God is in control. He's trustworthy. Come on, soul tribe, real life situation. They took him. Okay, now this is the thing for me. Now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna share this with y'all, and I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. I got a lot left. Let's see. Hopefully I can get this done. And what time is it? Oh yeah, I gotta get this done. Let me say this. They took the main thing. One of the main things was the coat. Jacob gave Joseph a coat. So they said, okay, I ain't talking about no coat like them coats where y'all come together and be doing all that. And the reason why y'all make them coats is because y'all too weak to stand by yourself. But you can't beat the man and woman of God though. Y'all can do all that. No, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. But anyway, a lot of people do that because they got to join the hate train. They don't have no identity. They can't stand by themselves. They can't spend time with themselves. But that's a whole nother podcast. We're going to keep it focused. The thing is, it wasn't about the coat. It wasn't about the coat. They thought if they took that coat from him and threw him in that pit, that was it. He was cooked. There wasn't nothing they could do. He was going to do. They thought it was on that coat. The brothers started to see. That's how the people they don't have a relationship with God. They little plans they be coming up with, that stuff don't even work. The gift was on the inside. It wasn't on the coat. That's how you can take my car, you can take my money, you can take my job, you can take my husband, you can separate me from my child. That's the coat of many colors. But guess what? It's the gift in me. They thought that if they took all that stuff for me, I was going to be over for me. Let that sit in for a minute, y'all. That's what they thought. Give me some ice. That's what they thought. That's exactly what they thought. They thought if they took that coat from me, they think if they take those material things from you, that's gonna be it. God ain't gonna use you. Your gift's gonna be gone. You dead. You ain't coming back playing. Oh, I'm gonna show you. Oh yeah, he had a dream. She had a dream. Okay. Okay. They had a dream. Okay. Let me take that car. Let me make you lose your job. Let me put this obstacle, that obstacle, this obstacle, that obstacle in your way. But it's not about those things. Because if that's the case, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. Because they stripped me down to ground zero. They thought if they took that coat, they threw him in that pit, that dream wasn't going to come true. But that dream still came true, baby. So whatever you dreaming about, whatever you want God to do in your life, baby, just know that it will come true. So it's so much going on in the world today, y'all. It's so much going on. It's so much going on. The gift can only be taken by God if you don't use it. In Joseph's case, the gifts of seeing, prophecy, and interpretation of his dreams. He did it with no coat, y'all. It don't matter what they take from you. Joseph still made it into the palace without the coat. Let that sit in. Joseph still made it in the palace without the coat. You can still get to where you got to go no matter what they take from you, girl. Because the coat is just an accessory. The gift is on the inside. Let that set in, Soul Tribe. Again, $Rain. Thank you for your gifts, donations. Please like, share, and subscribe. And today we're talking about pit. I don't see my little card right here. Pit. Talking about pit. It's on the inside. It's on the inside. So he did it without the coat. You know, at the end of the day, don't worry about being a black sheep, baby. Don't worry about them trying to sacrifice you. You might just have to go through that to make it to the palace. Because I done been in jail and all that. I done went through all that. She ain't gonna be nothing. Real life situation. Oh, yeah, she just a statistic. Oh, she divorced. Oh, I ain't got to worry about her no more. Okay. I'm going to sit right there and play possum and make you think I'm dead. But think about Joseph. Because the Lord was with him, whatever he did, wherever he was at, as long as he used them gifts, he still prospered. So think about what is your dream? I know being a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, changing the world, making a difference. Soul Tribe, believe in your dream no matter who don't believe in your dream. They'll try to destroy your dream. Destroy your dream. But you got to know if God be for me, who can be against me? Honey, chase your dream. This right here, what I'm doing right now was a dream. I've been talking about starting a podcast for years. Real life situation. We talking about pit. Please like, share, subscribe, you guys. $Rain. Yeah. I had to have strength, y'all, for everything I went through. And I survived by the favor of God. Most people couldn't put a toe in my shoe. Real life situation. Couldn't put a toe in there. You know what I'm saying? Real life situation. You know? I know sometimes when you dream, you know, people be like, yeah, right. You can't let them take that from you. They can talk the husband, the dog, the cat, the fish, the birds. Those are colors on the coat. But it wasn't in there. It's on the inside. It wasn't on the coat, y'all. So it don't matter if you in a pit. It doesn't matter what your pit is. What they say. You know. But it was all necessary. They still had to bow down. Because God got the final say. People right now said I wasn't going to be nothing. They probably looking at me right now on this podcast. Hey, y'all. Please like, share, subscribe, $Rain. We talk about pig. Woo, woo, isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Oh, yes. Rise and grind, baby. Rise and grind. And I thank God for every pit, every trial, every tribulation, everybody that laughed at me and talked about me. Guess what? I'm still here with my red lipstick. Real life situation, y'all. Y'all please like, share, and subscribe. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'll see you on the next go around. And don't forget, no matter what your pit is, God will always be there for you.
Stop listening to secular music. Y'all, and y'all be like, listen to Christian rap, it'll help you stop listening to secular music. Y'all, this girl on this song said, was cold-hearted little frosty, like working at Wendy's. Spirit hit me and just told me it's in me.